Parshas Bo has the last of the three makos. The Makkah of Arba, Choshech, and Makkahs Bechoros. Gematria Bo, 3. That's how you remember. And the Psukim start off speaking about Arba. These locusts, a swarm of flying things that took over Egypt. And there are a few different fascinating, unique qualities of the Makkah of Arba. One I'd like to focus on, two of them I'd like to focus on today with one theme that hopefully will take us into this coming week, and a very, very important Mivtza, Chazara challenge that we're going to be having this week, and try to really focus us and get us ready for it. The parsha starts off, Pasuk Aleph, Vayomer Hashem Moshe bo al Paro. Okay, come to Paro. I'm going to put my signs. I'm going to make a mark. And I want you to be able to tell to your future children and grandchildren everything that I accomplished and what I did, my impact in Mitzrayim. All of the makos that I did there. People are going to know that I'm God. Okay, that's the communication from Hashem to Moshe to go to Paro. No mention of what to say, no mention of what this seventh plague is going to be. Vayvo Moshe v'Aaron, Pasuk Gimel. Moshe and Aaron come into Paro, vaymeru elav, and they say to Paro, Kol amar Hashem Elokei Yivrim. This is what God said. Ad matai me'anta le'nos mipanai. How long is it going to be till you stop refusing what I've been asking you to do? I've been telling you to send out the Jewish people, and you're not listening. Shalacham iv'yavduni. Send them out. Because if you refuse to send them out, I'm going to go ahead and bring Arba. It's a fascinating thing. In all the previous makos, Hashem told Moshe very explicitly, this is what I'm going to bring on the Egyptians if the Egyptians don't send you out. Here, nothing. But Moshe, when he goes to Paro, he does two things. The previous seven plagues, he said, send us out. If you don't send us out, there's going to be a plague. Here, he gives him a little musar. We're at number 8 over here. He starts giving musar. He says, how long is it going to be already? How long are you going to go ahead and continue to refuse? Moshe adds in a musar shmuz. Not just a command, let us out, and if you don't, you're going to get a result. How long is this going to be? That's one. And the second thing is, he tells you what the plague is. It's going to be Arba, these locusts. Hashem never told Moshe what the plague is going to be. So how did Moshe know what this plague was? Okay, those are the two questions that I'd like to deal with today. Let's start with the second one. How did he know? So all the Mefarshim here try to give different answers, but they're all basically one theme. The Maral points out that if you look at the end of the last Makkah, in Barad, at the end of last week's Parsha, it seems like the plague only accomplished half a job. The pasuk says, Perek Tes Pasuk Lamed Aleph, the hail came down, V'hapishta v'hasaora nukasa. The pishtim and the sorum, the barley, they were actually hit and damaged. V'achita v'akusem eslo nuku. But the other grains, the wheat, for example, weren't hit. Some yes, some not. So, says the Maharal, Moshe knew that there must be a continuation to this plague that's going to take care of all the other things in the field. What would be that? Moshe said it must be Arba. Okay, he figured it out, because the plague of Barad wasn't finished. It was going to go ahead and continue. Or the Chassam Sofer says that Hashem actually gave, by being vague, Hashem actually let Moshe pick. Here, go pick. It'll be up to you what this plague is going to be. The 8th plague is in your hands, Moshe. Whatever you say, I am going to agree to. And by doing so, like the pasuk says, L'man tisaper, that you're going to be able to tell your future children and grandchildren, the future generations, that you, Moshe, were able to create what that plague was going to be, and I acquiesced, I, Hashem, agreed. But Moshe, it's in your hands. The same thing is brought down from Rabbunim Peshischa in the Kol Simcha. The Rush and the Das HaKenu Balitosis, the Rishonim, in the back of the Mikras Gedol, say something very similar. The Rush says it was Moshe made a Gzeira Shava from a pasuk in Yoel, Perek Aleph pasuk Gimel, where over there also says Arba, it says the word Tisaper. He figured out from there that that's what is going to come about. So however Moshe knew it, Rabbi Weinfeld points out in his Sefer on Chumash, they're all very similar ideas in that it was in Moshe's hands to figure out what this Makkah is going to be. As opposed to all the other Makkos, where Hashem explicitly said what it's going to be, this Makkah was Moshe like unearthing and revealing like the secret. You think it looks like this, comes Moshe and he has an impact. He has his own chiddush. He has his own limud of going ahead and being able to reveal and communicate what this Makkah is going to be. Let's hold that on the side for a moment. Let's go back to our first point. Moshe gave a Musar shmuz to Paro. All the previous Makos, he said, send us out. And if you don't, you're going to get a plague. Here he said, Paro, why are you dragging your feet? What's taking you so long already? Let's go. Wake up. Wake up. Says the Brisker of that Moshe was teaching Paro a lesson that the Rambam writes in the beginning of Hilchos Tainios, the beginning of the halachos of fast days. The Rambam says as follows. He says, yes, sometimes we have tsaros, we have difficulties, we have pain, we have war, we're impacted in a way that's not comfortable for us because of our ways. Hashem has to wake us up and Hashem has to say, change your ways, become better. If someone just goes ahead and sees something bad happen to them and just says, okay, we'll get over it and we'll move on, that's a problem. The Rambam then continues, and the Rambam says that when that happens, if a person doesn't change, so it's not just that we're still owed something because of what we did originally. Obviously that sorrow that happened to us didn't help us, didn't affect us, so we have to now still pay the price on some level. But now we have to pay a bigger price for not changing. We have to pay a price for just going we'll just chill through this one. We'll just let it pass. When a person walks Bekeri, that everything in the world just chance, okay, something bad happened to us, something bad happened to Klal Yisrael, we'll just make it through and we'll continue and not say, oh, I got to change because of this. I have to take the message. I have to learn. I have to grow. I have to be impacted. If a person doesn't do that, there are two things being held against him. One is the original thing that he did wrong that caused that thing to happen. And two, for just sleeping and schluffing away instead of actually growing and changing. Moshe Rabbeinu was coming to Paro and saying to him over here, Paro, we went through 7 plagues already. And the exact same thing again. When are you going to wake up and go ahead and recognize that there's something going on here? You're just looking at, there was a plague. Okay, we passed it, thank God. Okay, there's a plague. Calling Moshe to stop it. Okay, we worked that one out. We'll do it again. When are you going to realize that you were supposed to wake up from these things and change from all of these plagues instead of just getting past them? That's what Brisker Rav explains Moshe's Musar Haskell over here. But Weinfeld pointed out that it could be that these two ideas are the same. One, something happens to us in the world, we have to wake up. It's not enough just to say, oh, okay, I feel it. I'll try to never do that again. I have to change for the better. I have to move forward. And if I don't, if I just walk and just continue and go, you're on the train, going very fast, nothing's moving you, nothing's changing you, that's a problem. And specifically over here where Moshe was able to be Machadesh, he was able to go ahead and reveal what the Makkah is going to be. Those two are related. Because what does that second element mean? It's saying, don't just look at what's superficial or what's a direct, explicit communication. Try to think, look into the world, try to think a little bit. What maybe does God want from me? Think a little bit differently. Oh, I have a Gzeira Shava. Oh, I see from the Makkah of Bara that there's something left over. Then this must be the message. It's not just looking at what things are in a little vacuum and just go, 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 go. Think bigger, think deeper. And when we do that and we're able to access the truth, Hashem says, yes, this is what it is. And you could tell this to generation to generation that I agreed to what you revealed. Don't just look at things at face value. Don't be a superficial Jew. Be someone that looks past what meets the eye. Take those messages, appreciate that we're supposed to change, we're supposed to grow, and we're supposed to access and tap into certain deep elements and move forward. Weinfeld pointed out that really this is what Torah Shebaal Peh is all about. The oral Torah, right? The oral Torah, which is really what Moshe did over here. Moshe acted like one of the people in the Gemara here. Yeah, Hashem sent me a message. I should go to Paro. What does he want from me? Oh, let me take a look. Oh, the last plague doesn't look like it's finished. Oh, it must be there's something going on. Oh, I saw somewhere else that the word tisaper is used, and Arba was over there. Oh, Arba. That's a Gemara. Moshe, on some level, in the Makkah of Arba, was exercising Torah Shebaal Peh. The idea that, yes, we have a Torah Shebeksav, we have our Chumash, and it has its stories, and it has its mitzvos, but Hashem gave us a Torah Shebaal Peh to tell us that there's a lot more there. There's a lot more than meets the eye. And if you just sit there and chill with your feet up on the couch and like, with a drink, of course. Yeah? So, yes, you learned Chumash on a superficial level, but you didn't get there. And you didn't get the real message. You didn't see what's really Hashem trying to teach us and bring us into the world. But when you work hard and you think, what could it mean? You try to compare and contrast and you ask questions and you find someone that already learned this before and then you have a Rebbe and you start going deeper and deeper and deeper, you're able to unleash, reveal tremendous secrets of the truth of Hashem's wisdom. And he points out that there's a machlokes in the Medrash, in the Shmos Rabbah, at the end of Parates. Kedai to look this up. Machlokes. How long were the Makos for? One opinion says that the Mak itself was 7 days, and the warning that preceded it was 24 days. 24 days of warning, 7 days of the Makkah. The other opinion says 7 days of warning, 24 days of the Makkah. But everyone agrees that the period of each Makkah was around 30, 31 days. So he says, let's count back now from Makas Bachoros. Makas Bachoros happened in the month of Nisan. Makas Choshech happened in the month of Adar. Makas Arba happened in the month of Shevat. This week is Rosh Chodesh Shevat. Makas Arba happened in the Chodesh of Shevat. What's significant about the Chodesh of Shevat? So if you take a look at the end of the Torah, the very beginning of Sefer Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu is about to die, and he opens up, and the pasuk says in Devarim, Perek Aleph, pasuk Gimel, through pasuk Hey, Ho'il ba'ashtei asar chodesh be'achad chodesh, Rosh Chodesh Shvat, this Thursday, Ho'il Moshe be'eretz haTorah azos le'mor. Moshe began to explain the Torah. The Torah Shebaal Peh started on Rosh Chodesh Shvat. And the Rambam writes in his introduction to Mishnayos, the Rambam has a very, very lengthy introduction to Mishnayos, very, very, very important to learn. The Rambam writes as follows, V'kasher igia sofar ba'im shana, at the end of the 40th year in the desert, B'rosh Chodesh Shvat, on the first day of Shvat, Hikila Moshe Rabbeinu v'amar lahem, Moshe Rabbeinu got them together and he said, I'm about to die. Anyone who heard anything from me, Eza Kabbalah v'shikha, maybe you forgot it, Yavo v'dereno, come, I'll explain it to you. Mishan is stop galo, Eza dav she'ela, someone who has some questions, Yavo v'dereno, I'll explain it to you. Amar Kasav, Ho'il Moshe be'eretz haTorah azos le'mor. Ubiru mipiv haKabbalah v'lamdu perushim kolosu azman shem Rosh Chodesh Shvat at Shvi ba'adar. During the month of Shvat was the time that Moshe Rabbeinu was clarifying, answering questions, anything that was more than meets the eye, come speak to me. Torah Shebaal Peh, the oral Torah, Moshe was giving this over and helping out to explain what the Torah is all about. So we see that the Makkah of Arba was in the month of Shevat. The month of Shevat is a time where the Torah Sheba'al Peh was explained. Moshe Rabbeinu was explaining things. And the month of Shevat was the same month of the Makav Arba, where Moshe Rabbeinu exercised the idea that the Chachamim have the ability to reveal what's behind the scenes, what's more than meets the eye, and be able to teach that, l'man tisaper, to give it over for generation to generation. And here, Baruch Hashem, this week, leading up to Rosh Chodesh, culminating on Rosh Chodesh Shvat, we have the opportunity to step it up. The opportunity to do chazara, to review things that we've been learning since the beginning of the year in an intense way, pushing ourselves more and more and more. And then we'll speak about this in Mirz Hashem more and when we start the actual mitzvah, but it's important for us to at least get ready for what it's going to be like. But the more you review something again and again and again, the more you're able to get clarity in ways that you never thought you could. You reviewed it once, you reviewed it twice, you could even say it back to your Rebbe, Shakal V'Tari, you know it by heart, nice. But when you do it again and again and again and again without breaks, just totally focused, zoned in, locked in, you're able to reveal so much more than you ever thought you could have beforehand. And the time is Mesugal for this. This is the time for it. The Chodesh of Shvat, the Makav Arba, that we can't just look at things and say, okay, I know it, okay, move on. If anyone ever asks me a question, I know how to look it up. That's not enough. We want to get deeper. We want you to connect to it more. Hashem doesn't want us to be superficial people. Doesn't want us to just go and be good. It's not enough. We need to be deeper. We need to always be pushing ourselves to reveal more and more and more. Go beyond our comfort zone to be able to get there. And Bezrat Hashem, we're going to see at the culmination of this week how much connection we're able to get to the real Torah in the deepest way. And we'll be able to see how much we're able to accomplish. And we're going to push us forward. That nothing in this world we're going to take just at a superficial level. We're going to always try to take it to its max and to be the most successful people that we could be. And we should have an incredibly matzliach week ahead of us.